is your view on America and India's job market right now? Because आप अभी आए हो India से US.
Yes, August.
So what do you think कि अभी since you are applying for internships, is there is a ray of hope? So hello everyone, today we have Drishti here. She is someone जिन्होंने 100+ conferences attend किया in 10+ countries. Plus on top of that, इनका खुद का startup भी है Skill Up with Drishti, and she is currently studying at Georgia Tech, and she has experience with JavaScript, PHP, Go, top conferences like Go में, PHP UK, JSCon. So hi Drishti, can you please introduce yourself? Because today we're going to go into the tech details कि अभी in the world from someone like Drishti जिनके पास experience है in all the technologies you can imagine, चाहे वो machine learning हो, चाहे वो web development हो, what is the importance of DSA, what are the importance of tech knowledge in your interviews, system in design, because she has reached that senior software engineering mark as well. इन्होंने recruiting भी की हुई है. Let's get into the in depth about your experience. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, firstly, hi Harnoor, so excited to be on your YouTube channel. Hi everyone, I'm Drishti Jain. So I'm currently a Masters in Computer Science student at Georgia Tech. I'm an international tech speaker, spoken at conferences across the world. I have my own startup called Skill Up with Drishti. And yes, I've worked at Adobe and Citi. I've been in the software space mainly as a backend developer, worked across technologies, including like Python, Java, JavaScript, Go, and a lot of PySpark, so a lot of machine learning and things like that. And yeah, I have my own NGO as well. So we work in India through my NGO, helping the underprivileged. That is something I'm passionate about. So I do that through my NGO as well.
Oh, helping underprivileged in which category?
So we work in environment, education and healthcare. So तीनों sectors में we work. Actually, the main aim of why I started the NGO was to impart skills to the underprivileged children so that they are able to achieve things and be able to learn skills which they can use to earn money in the future so that they can stand on their own legs.
Very incredible. तो start करते हैं आपकी college journey से. So before getting into the world of conferences, क्या बता सकते हो कि when you actually went in depth into a technology, चाहे वो PHP में आपकी expertise हो, JavaScript, Python, when you figured out कि हाँ, I am enjoying the world of programming and I want to go in depth?
Yes, for sure. So I think it was in my second year, that was the first time I conducted a workshop on Python for anybody who was new to Python. So as soon as I started my first year in college, I used to do a lot of small or the other projects in technology. And then in first year, I started exploring programming on my own. And I started off with, interestingly, C++ and then Python.
तो कॉलेज में आपको सिखाया गया था ये?
कॉलेज में हाँ, C and C++ था. तो मुझे C++ बेटर लगा था. तो C++ से I got introduced to the world of data structures. उसके बाद फिर Python खुद से सीखा and then I realized कि मेरे आसपास के जो मेरे classmates हैं उन्हें नहीं आती है प्रोग्रामिंग और काफ़ी बार हमें एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे चाहिए होता है ताकि हम इजीली सीख पाए कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज या कॉन्सेप्ट. तो मैंने फ्री वर्कशॉप रखी थी तब कॉलेज में, तब मैं सेकेंड ईयर में थी एंड उसमें इटसेल्फ 150+ स्टूडेंट्स आए थे एंड इट वॉज ओवर अ वीकेंड, अ होल डे वर्कशॉप. So that was like the first time I taught people and I realized that I love sharing my knowledge with people. It was co-sponsored by Pi Ladies, which is like Python for Women organization. So that's how it started and then I decided that Python is something I love and then machine learning was booming right then. It was comparatively a new topic for students. It was still not there in the syllabus yet. So I wanted to explore that on my own and that's when I realized that I should get more into depth in this and try and see where the world of technology takes me.
वैसे आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, टू टीच इज टू लर्न ट्वाइस, एंड आपने अपना पैशन भी डिस्क्राइब किया. योर बिगेस्ट पैशन इज टू शेयर योर नॉलेज विद द वर्ल्ड, राइट? दैट इज समथिंग यू एंजॉय द मोस्ट. एंड अभी इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ कॉलेज, अभी इन कॉलेज स्टूडेंट स्ट्रगल करते हैं, वो फिगर आउट नहीं कर पाते बिकॉज आपने इतनी सारी चीज़ें कॉलेज में की है. एक स्टूडेंट कॉलेज में फिगर आउट ही नहीं कर पाता कि मशीन लर्निंग करनी चाहिए, वेब डेवलपमेंट करनी चाहिए, मोबाइल ऐप डेवलपमेंट करनी चाहिए, डेटाबेस में जाना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए, कुछ समझ नहीं आता. अगर आप इधर जाते हो तो कुछ और हो रहा होता है एंड यू फील फोमो कि ये स्टूडेंट मशीन लर्निंग कर रहा है एंड आई एम मिसिंग आउट ऑन द नेक्स्ट ग्रेटेस्ट टेक जहाँ पे जॉब मिलने वाली है एंड मुझे जॉब नहीं मिलेगी अगर मैंने पीछे नहीं भागा. और लेफ्ट साइड पे देखते हो मोबाइल ऐप डेवलप कर रहा है जहाँ पे लगता है वहाँ पे भी बहुत स्कोप है. सो आप हर जगह टच करते हो एंड यू नेवर बीन एबल टू गो डेप्थ. तो आपने ये प्रॉब्लम कैसे सॉल्व की एंड विच टेक्नोलॉजीज यू फिगर्ड आउट कि यू वांट टू गो इन?
So yes, I think ये confusion तो हर student को होता है and I think even professional life में भी कि आप देखते हो कि new kind of jobs create हो रही है, LLMs are the thing, तो maybe not just even machine learning but maybe I should, जैसे 2 years पहले तक लोगों को था कि CNN सीखना चाहिए, like computer vision is the thing. अब इस year से 2023 से है कि LLMs and LLM स्पेसिफिक जॉब्स भी है अब, तो उस चीज में एक्सपर्टीज लेनी चाहिए। या
अब एक्सपैंड कर सकते हो LLMs एंड ये क्या होते हैं?
LLMs आर लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स। द बिगेस्ट एग्जांपल आउट देयर इज चैट जीपीटी, कि एक LLM मॉडल है वो। LLM स्पेसिफिक जॉब्स अब बन रही है कि जैसे बार्ड है गूगल का, फायरफ्लाई है अडोबी में, तो डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशंस है। आर्ट में भी हो सकता है लाइक जनरेटिव AI, या टेक्स्ट बेस्ड हो सकता है जैसे चैट जीपीटी। तो LLMs are becoming the new thing. So people want people who have expertise in building LLMs or working in a machine learning space closer to that.
Absolutely. हर कंपनी हायर करना चाहती है। आप HubSpot पे देखते हो, there are so many LLMs available, and Elon Musk wants to create a competitor of ChatGPT. Google, Facebook, every company want to be the next AI innovator.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे बहुत jobs create हुई हैं।
हाँ, तो as a student I know कि एज अ स्टूडेंट या एज अ प्रोफेशनल बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग होता है कि शुड आई बिल्ड एक्सपर्टीज इन वन एरिया इन डेप्थ और शुड आई ऑल्सो नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द वर्ल्ड। तो मैं हमेशा सबको यही सजेस्ट करती हूँ, और जो चीज़ मैं भी फॉलो करती हूँ, कि इट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो एटलीस्ट अ बिट ऑफ एवरीथिंग, क्योंकि उसका एप्लीकेशन इन योर इंडस्ट्री भी बहुत ज़्यादा होगा। जैसे मैं कोर बैकएंड इंजीनियर भी रही हूँ और मशीन लर्निंग साइड भी रही हूँ, तो दोनों जगहों की मैंने स्किल्स एक दूसरी जगह यूज़ की है। तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको एक दूसरी स्किल भी आए ताकि आप उसे इनकॉर्पोरेट कर सको अपने प्रोजेक्ट। एंड देन आप जैसे अलग अलग चीज़ें एज अ स्टूडेंट ट्राई करते हो कि आपने मोबाइल ऐप डेवलपमेंट ट्राई किया, फुल स्टैक या वेब डेवलपमेंट किया, या मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल साइड किया, तो उसके बाद आपको इवन ये पता चलेगा कि क्या चीज़ है जो आप मे बी यू कैन डू इट इन अ गो। आप 6 घंटे तक भी वो कर रहे हो तो आप बोर नहीं हो रहे हो, लाइक आपका इंटरेस्ट उतना ही इंट्रीग्ड है, तो वो आपका इंटरेस्ट एरिया बन जाता है।
Absolutely. And आपने कैसे लैंग्वेजेस पिक की? बिकॉज इन योर पोर्टफोलियो आपको गो भी आती है, PHP, जावास्क्रिप्ट। आपने एक प्रोजेक्ट पकड़ा, लर्न द स्किल्स एंड देन वेंट टू नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट, या फिर सारी स्किल्स एक साथ सीखी? मतलब एक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज सीखना, नेक्स्ट सीखना। हाउ डिड यू टारगेट लर्निंग प्रोसेस?
टू आंसर दिस, मैं सबसे पहले आई लाइक टू से दैट आई एम समवन हु लुक्स एट सॉल्विंग द प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट एंड देन फिगरिंग आउट व्हाट इज द बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म या लैंग्वेज टू यूज इट। सो आई वाज राइट फ्रॉम माय अंडरग्रेड days, I was a person who wanted to solve problems. So whenever I identified a problem, and then I researched about what is the best way in which I can use technology to solve this problem. Then I got to know, okay, this is a good language and this is a good language as well. There are two options. Then I explored both of them a bit to see what is something that solves my problem better. Then, for example, choosing between Python and R, like that is a big thing that people think ki machine learning mein what is the better thing. So then once I realized that Python is better for a social media analytics project that I was doing, then I dived deeper into it and learned more and more about Python. So instead of like learning one by one languages, I'm somebody की जिसने कि ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करनी है, अब इसे कैसे सॉल्व कर सकता है।
तो कोई भी प्रॉब्लम पकड़ो, आप देखो कि कौन सी लैंग्वेज बेस्ट है उस प्रॉब्लम के लिए, देन लर्न and then implement it.
हाँ, क्योंकि फिर आपके पास मोटिवेशन भी है ना कि आपको क्यों वो लैंग्वेज सीखनी है, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। नहीं तो आप सीखते जाओगे, आपको यही नहीं पता कि क्यों मैं सीख रही हूँ, तो इसलिए वो मोटिवेशन भी इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट है।
Absolutely. And now let's start कि आपने सेकेंड ईयर में स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर दिया था। सो कॉलेज के बाद when did you get the opportunity कि आपने एक्सपर्टीज गेन कर लिया कि आपको लोग बुला रहे हैं कॉन्फ्रेंसेज में, नॉट जस्ट वन कि आप 100 तक पहुंचे, बट हाउ द फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस invitation came?
So interestingly, first conference invitation मैं still student थी तब मैं 6 months बचे थे मेरे graduation में. It was my final year का Jan. So before about 6 months before that, I was selected as a scholar for a PHP conference in Asia, which was held in Singapore. तो वहाँ पे I went, the creators of PHP, PHP Unit, XDebug were all there. And I got to interact with them. I showed the different projects I was doing across mobile app development, across machine learning, and shared ki this is something I've gained quite an expertise on. Like I just shared with them ki these are the things I'm doing. And then there was somebody else in the group as well who invited me to give a talk at a conference held at the Microsoft headquarters in Singapore in Jan of 2019.
Oh, the first second उनका invite आया.
हाँ, first, और वो first international conference थी.
तो फर्स्ट के लिए आपने खुद अप्लाई किया था और या सोशल मीडिया लाइक स्पोक फॉर योर वर्क?
सोशल मीडिया से ज़्यादा द प्रोजेक्ट दैट आई शेयर्ड, एंड देन दे वांटेड मी to have like a summary of the things I've done, what have I used, like a full description of things, and then send it over to them. And then
application के through?
It was more of कि उन्हें reach out किया था, but उन्हें चाहिए था कि और इसके बारे में बताओ.
तो उन्होंने आपको कैसे ढूंढा देन?
तो वो पिछली कॉन्फ्रेंस में दे न्यू मी,
नहीं, फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस में, सॉरी, आई मीन फर्स्ट
कॉन्फ्रेंस वाज अ स्कॉलरशिप, तो आई अप्लाइड फॉर द स्कॉलरशिप.
You applied. First was through application.
Yes.
And then you got the invite right after.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And अगर आप अपने आप को एक्सपर्टीज अगर किसी चीज में बताना चाहो, हाउ वुड यू डिफाइन योरसेल्फ? कि आप इफ यू वांट टू डिफाइन योरसेल्फ एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, आप लोगों को कैसे बताओगे कि एज यू नो सो मेनी लैंग्वेजेस, हाउ वुड यू डिफाइन योरसेल्फ?
So I would define myself as somebody who's a problem solver and who has a good grasp on Java, Python, JavaScript, and also learning Go on the side. So that is how I would describe me in the technical landscape. I know a lot of DevOps, Kubernetes, Jenkins, AWS. So I know how to scale things as well, not just create code. That is how I would describe myself.
Very nice. आपको अपने जो प्लेसमेंट उठाई थी सिटी की, वो ऑन कैंपस थी?
ऑन कैंपस थी, हाँ. फर्स्ट डे, लाइक द वेरी फर्स्ट कंपनी एंड फर्स्ट डे प्लेसमेंट. तो मेरा थर्ड ईयर की वेकेशंस चल रही थी. मैं ACM स्कॉलर थी, तो मैं बैंगलोर में फॉर अ साइबर सिक्योरिटी समर कोर्स गई थी. उसके बीच में से आई केम बैक टू पुणे क्योंकि इंटरव्यूज वर शेड्यूल्ड, लाइक जिसे कहते हैं डे 0 या लाइक एकदम द वेरी फर्स्ट कंपनी दैट कम्स. तो एंड सिटी के साथ मैंने और एक पहले कंपटीशन में पार्ट लिया था जिसमें सेकंड रनर अप रह चुकी थी. तो आई वाज वेरी इंप्रेस्ड बाय द कल्चर देयर. तो मुझे था कि नहीं, आई विल फ्लाई बैक होम, आई विल गिव माई इंटरव्यूज. तो इन द मिडल ऑफ माई समर कोर्स ऑफ ACM, उसके बीच में आई gave the interviews, got selected, and fourth year के पहले I had my job in hand.
Wow.
So I spent my fourth year exploring and like skilling up more and more.
Wonderful. Now इंडिया में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है about career switch. कोई नॉन टेक से टेक जाना चाहता है, and since you have connected with so many people throughout the world, आपको क्या लगता है is the best way to make it happen?
Yeah, so I think the best way to make it happen is, first of all, a person should have the right skills. And the person should have a right roadmap or a plan in order to achieve the goals that they want. Interestingly, that is what I do in Skill Up as well, in Skill Up with Drishti. A lot of people from a non-technical background say they have civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and want to get into the tech industry. So what is the right kind of technologies that they should study in order to be in the tech industry? And one core suggestion that I give to a lot of people I work with and that I would like to share with everybody watching us is that you need to work on your skills and identify why you chose the skill that you chose. Because in an interview, they will ask you, for example, you were working as a core mechanical engineer and then now you're coming into tech. And for example, you learned Java. So why did you learn Java? So maybe there is some connection in your background. Maybe on your previous job, you interacted with a lot of your colleagues. You saw what is the connection between what you are doing to what happens in tech. So finding that connection is important. There should be a reason of why you come into tech, because that must be the reason you're putting in so much effort कि आप career change कर रहे हो.
तो वो मिशन स्टेटमेंट माइंड में होना चाहिए. So अगर आपसे कोई क्वेश्चन पूछता है कि why you want to switch, if you don't have the clear answer,
हाँ,
तो then it's difficult.
हाँ.
And rest is skills. कि अगर आप अपना resume एक tech student की तरह बना सकते हो, with the mission in mind, it is completely possible.
Yes, it is 100% completely possible. And mission, like you said, there should be a right reason to do everything that you do in life. अगर mechanical engineering की, you have spent 4 years of your life studying the core concepts, then why would you just leave that behind and come into a tech career? Like, there was some reason you chose mechanical. So what is the reason you are choosing to be in tech now?
Absolutely right. Now let's get back to the job market. What is your view on America and India's job market right now? Because आप अभी आए हो India से US.
Yes, August.
So what do you think कि अभी since you are applying for internships, is there is a ray of hope कि अब openings आ रही हैं, and how are you targeting for them?
सो आई थिंक जॉब मार्केट इंडिया एंड US में काफ़ी डिफरेंट है. तो इंडिया में कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स होते हैं. जैसे अगर आप अपनी फर्स्ट जॉब आउट ऑफ कॉलेज, इवन अगर वो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज, अगर आप MTech, MBA कुछ भी कर रहे हो, तो कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स होती है. सो यू नो दैट इफ़ यू put in the effort to get into a great school, you are going to reap those benefits very fast. Whereas in the US, I study at Georgia Tech, which is one of the top tier schools. Even then, you apply to a lot of companies. Of course, the university helps a lot. Like, it helps a recruiter to see you have gotten into Georgia Tech, you have a great GPA, you have done so many things. The difference comes in the way you approach applying to job. So, jobs apply करते हो, openings आ रही है interestingly अभी. I think next 6 months में चीजें बेटर होएगी, तब और ओपनिंग्स आएगी.
Wonderful. This answers the question completely. Thank you. And now targeting those companies, आपको क्या लग रहा है कि these days आपने Adobe, Citibank में काम किया है, and to all the companies you are interviewing right now, is DSA the main focus for all the students, या फिर उन्हें ज़्यादा टेक एस्पेक्ट में आपसे पूछ रहे हैं, जैसे कि आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि वेब डेवलपमेंट के आंसर करो क्वेश्चंस, या फिर आपके साथ लाइव वेबसाइट बनाओ. सो व्हाट आर देयर इंटरव्यू क्राइटेरिया फॉर यू?
Okay, so I think it depends upon the kind of company you're applying to. अगर आप startup को apply कर रहे हो, तो they would want to have like a take-home assignment or see your development skills more of developing something live, whereas big companies are focusing on both things. So it is like data structures, algorithms, like lead code and things like that, plus the work that you have done. So they also focus a lot on what have you actually built in your resume, say whether it's your previous jobs, your projects. So I think they're focusing on both. So for big tech, like you have to prepare for both things. And then they would also ask you core concept questions, which are the tricky questions, to see if you actually know the things that you have written in your resume. Because it should not be a case कि आपने लिख दिया ये भी आता है, but you actually don't know about it. Just to get through that ATS thing, सारी चीजें लिख दी पर it's not working. So I think companies are focusing on both the things. And I think even back home in India, once you're into your first company from college, then you are open in the world. It is like applying here, that you apply or recruiters reach out to you and then you go through the interview process. The interview process, I think, is pretty similar. It is data structures, algorithms, projects, work you have done.
Very nice. Can you share your interview preparation process? So based on the interview, आप DSA कितना करते हो?
So मैं DSA को ऐसे approach करती हूँ कि different kind of problems कर लेती हूँ instead of just reaching a particular number on lead code, say doing X number of problems. I think more than that, what is important for me is solving different kinds of problems. And I have been doing lead code for quite a few years now. So I know the things that I'm good at. I know things that I might want to brush up on. So then I would focus on the things I want to brush up on.
Topic specific.
Topic specific, yes.
Very nice. Now finally, let's talk about your experience after working in India for almost 4 years.
Yes.
Now at Georgia Tech, आपको fully funded opportunity मिली. So how is it going and how difficult was it for you to get fully funded at Georgia Tech?
Yes, for sure. So just to add on to that, being a fully funded, it is PhD programs are generally fully funded. In masters, I have a TA semester to semester, and that helps with like the scholarship part of it, of having my tuition waived off and getting a stipend monthly. My experience at Georgia Tech has been great. So I'm more focused on courses which are machine learning specialization specific. So like I'm taking up courses like actually machine learning, knowledge-based AI. So things like which are very different to what I've ever learned in college or worked like on the 4 years. And then I'm also building upon my software expertise by taking in core courses related to that. So I think my experience at Georgia Tech has been great. I've been learning things which I would have not otherwise gotten the specific time to learn for. Because if you're working, it is very challenging to take out time in order to study something very different from your work. So I think like that way Georgia Tech is helping me.
Wonderful. And after that, your goal is to be a senior software engineer. आपको लगता है कि your experience in India will help you reach senior software engineering role easily or easily हो जाएगा? Like
I think so, yes, even if not right in the starting, but maybe because I'm in school effectively, like I'm in university effectively now, so if there's a different path for everybody who graduates university, but maybe I would reach higher levels faster as compared to somebody who has zero experience. And I surely think that my experience of being a software developer in India across 2 great organizations will help me look at things differently and contribute to projects in a very unique way. So that way it will help a lot.
Wonderful. And last question will be, if you want to draw a roadmap for students who want to become a web developer or make web apps, क्योंकि web developer थोड़ा सा vague term है, उन्हें लगता है कि website बनाना है, but UI तो हर जगह है. You make web apps, जिसकी कमी है. So how they can become a web developer if you want to give a holistical roadmap, अगर जो आपने गलतियां की ताकि वो बच्चे ना करें.
हाँ. तो for sure, अगर आपको if you want to build your own web app, you have a great idea, you have a great say algorithm. Now, how do you monetize on that algorithm is by making a web app. Web app is something that people will use across. You can have a website, a landing page. For example, if you're working with files, it could be like uploading a file there, your algorithm will do what the logic is supposed to do and then give the output to the user through your website. But on the backend, it's your web app who's doing everything. So my roadmap to become a web developer would be, so JavaScript and the tech stack around JavaScript is a great place. So there are a ton of specific libraries, frameworks that you can learn. I would say that if you're completely new to say tech or like building web apps at all, try learning the JavaScript space.
Basic JavaScript.
Yes, because you should know why a particular library or a function works the way it does. And then you can build upon on that anytime. And I would say don't focus a lot on just memorizing things. Try and think why a programming language was built the way way it is. So there's a lot of open source contributions out there, programming languages like JavaScript. So you can also look up why a function does what it does. What is the internal implementation? Maybe that can also give somebody an idea ki this is an interesting feature that should be there, and work upon that. So with respect to the roadmap, it would be that focus on, like, if you're interested in the JavaScript space, that is a good way to start. Learn different tech stack, learn Node.js, React, everything. See how you can build a basic web app, and then think about the problem. Like I said, like, what is the problem you're trying to solve? Why the web app? And then try and apply all of this in building that web app and learn incrementally.
So एक कोई tech stack नहीं है that they should like target. It's about problems देखो क्या आपको solve करनी है. Based on that, decide कि you want to learn MERN stack or any different stack.
Yes, that would be my advice to everyone.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Drishti, for being here. Thank you so much for incredible knowledge. आप इनका page check कर सकते हो on Twitter and LinkedIn. She has shared all the conferences knowledges, 100+ conferences. इनकी conferences में up to 2,000 students have been there. 2,000 people have been there. Like
professionals.
Brazil. Professionals.
Yes.
Incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was great being on the channel and sharing knowledge with everybody. And yeah, I've decided to restart my YouTube channel. So I think after today, I'll start doing that as well to share more knowledge.
Definitely you should. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I forgot to mention कि इनका नाम छपा हुआ है in their university जो सिर्फ एक student का throughout the year मिलता है, alumni of the year, student of the year.
Yes, the best outgoing student of the year.
And इसके लिए आपकी GPA भी top होगी, right?
हाँ, GPA मेरी 9.23 थी, उसके साथ extra curricular activities, campus में बहुत involved थी. Eco Warrior awarded me by the government of Maharashtra, NGO का work, being a Google scholar, ACM scholar, Goldman Sachs scholar. So I think वो holistically देखते हैं, and my name is there, so I'm really proud about it.
Amazing.